Coming up on this episode of Mercedes Garage, Mercedes inline four-cylinder gasoline engines part 2 on Mercedes Garage. Hi and welcome back to another episode of Mercedes Garage. Today we're going to be talking about the inline four-cylinder gasoline engines part 2, which this shouldn't be near as long as the previous video was because this is part 2 and it's not that many left. So we'll get right to it. This is the Mercedes M271 engine. It was made in Uechternheim, Germany. You can see what models it was in. It was in the CLK W209, and that went way too quick there. The W204, W212, the C207. Some of these models were available in the US and some of them were not. So we'll talk about all of them. Let's go back up here. The W209 compressor, W203, C180, and the CLK 200. Those two were not sold here in the US. The E200 was not sold here. The R171 was sold here, but not as an SLK 200. The W204 C180 compressor was not sold here. I think the C200 was. I'm not sure about that. The C200 CGI, which is charged gasoline injection. I don't think any of those were sold here. C200, C200G. W209. When I mean not sold here in the US, the model was sold here, but not in that engine necessarily. It may have been. I would have to look that up. The W204, C180, C200, C250, the W212, the C207, C207 E250, and the SLK 200 and the SLK 250. These were both supercharged and non-supercharged engines. The next one is we did that one. Bear with me, this is a little delay because again this is partially off of Wikipedia. The M139 engine is again, from the picture as you can see, looks like it's again a transverse engine, which if you watched the previous video that will explain what transverse engines are. This is a supercharged or turbocharged, turbocharged, not supercharged. And it's the electronically assist turbocharged. It was on the AMG C45 AMG, the C45 AMG 4MATIC. No, A-Class, I'm sorry. CLA C118 45 AMG. And the A-Class W177 45 AMG, and the GLA 45 AMG 4MATIC. These are all 4MATICs except for this one, which is an AMG SL 45 with 375 horsepower out of a 4-cylinder engine. That's pretty darn good. And a Lotus, somehow Lotus got a Mercedes engine. I could say something, but it will make everybody who's a Lotus fan very upset. The only thing reliable on the car would be the engine. Okay, you could put your negative comments below, but that is true. The saying is with Lotus, lots of problems, usually serious. But that's for the Lotus channel, and we're not the Lotus channel. We're the Mercedes Garage, so we won't talk about Lotus. The C45, CLA C118 model 45S AMG, a W177 45S AMG, and a GLA 45S AMG 4MATIC, and a C63 SE Performance 4MATIC. And these are pretty much, that engine came out in 2019 and it's still in production today. The next one is a M260 or 264. It's transversed again. Here's a close-up of that engine, as you can see it on the screen. It's transversed, meaning it's going this way instead of this way. Let's see what else. It came out in 2017 and it's still currently in production. This has the 48 volt system. Now that is a system that Mercedes has started. I don't know if any other I think Chrysler has it. Fiat Chrysler has it. It's sort of almost like a hybrid system. There's an alternator behind the engine where the starter will be that's 48 volts instead of 12 volts. And as I'm reading, but it's the system has an auxiliary compressor and integrated starter. The starter and alternators in one. Unlike the 256, which uses it's an electric air conditioner compressor and an electric 48 volt electric water pump. So you have both a combination of 12 volt items like your heated seats or rear window defroster, and you have 48 volt items on the same car, and you do get an extra 20, or depends on the model, between 20 and 25 horsepower additional to the standard horsepower. It's on Mercedes' website, www.mbusa.com, or Mercedes-Benz, www.mercedes-benz.com, which is the international site that will show you for your country of which models that's on. They came out with it, let's see, I think it came out in 2019, 2020, about that time. So we'll continue now. This is the M260 and M264 engine. It's on the W170, A200, A220, the A35 AMG, the CLA 250, the CLA 35 AMG, Oh, here's what it's called. It's called EQ Boost. I couldn't think of the name. It's called a mid-hybrid, which is not really a hybrid, but it's not really not a hybrid. 205 C180, W205 C200, that's the one with the EcoBoost. The W213 E180 is not available in the US. It was for Pakistan, without the EQ, is Pakistan and Egypt. The W206 with EcoBoost, both C180 and C200, and now the M264 engine, the W213, E350, E300 with EQ Boost, W213 E200 with EQ Boost, W205 C300 with EQ Boost, the CLS 350, the S-Class W220 or V220 S350, but that's only available in China with that engine. Couple GLCs, a 200 GLC 200 and a GLC 300, and a G-Class G350 Chinese, the China version with the EQ. So they really don't put in the US market, except for a few of them. There is a few that has the EQ Boost in a 4-cylinder. Okay, the next engine is the M282. This is a picture of a GLA 200, which went by real quick. That is made for Mercedes, Renault, Nissan, and Mitsubishi. All use the same engine. And that is from 2018 to now. It's still in production. And it's in a bunch of models. A W177, A160, a W247, B160, which is not sold in America, W177, A180, A220E, which I think that's a hybrid with the 220E, a C118 CLA 180, and the next one is a M282. Where's the name going to the next? Please bear with me. Just stopped. Okay, never mind. A CLA 180, a W177 A200, a W177 A250E hybrid, W247 B250E, a C118, an X, which is a GLB 200, a GLA 200, which that model is only available in Thailand, I think. A C118, excuse me. A CLA 250E, and a Renault pickup truck Duster, which is not sold in the US. So that there is an M254, which is current from 2021 and is currently in production. It's a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder, and that there's no pictures on Wikipedia of it and which models. You would have to look that up. So that basically covers part 2 of the inline 4-cylinder gasoline engines from Mercedes. Next time we'll talk about the inline 6-cylinder engines, or the V6 engines. I don't know. Maybe we'll start with the V6 or the inline 6. I don't know. We'll see. I'll surprise everybody. So remember, thank you for the 35 subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy these videos. It helps keep the channel going. Also hit the thumbs up button. If you liked the video, hopefully you did. I know it may be a little bit of a boring topic talking about engines, but maybe somebody will hopefully find it interesting. It is sort of interesting to find which models each engine goes into. So until next time, keep motoring in your Mercedes-Benz, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.